So, in case you didn't know, you can watch free anime on Crunchyroll, but you had a lot of ads. And that's not important anymore because that option is not available anymore. And of course it's not, because it was bought by Sony. So you are saying, oh, what's the big deal? They do what you want, it's a private company. Yeah, sure, but a lot of people that didn't have the money at least had the chance to see their favorite anime with a lot of ads. But do you know why Crunchyroll did this? Because usually the ones that watches all the ads, and it's usually a lot of them, are very poor people. The people who doesn't have a lot of money for subscriptions. So what was the big deal? They watch ads and the Crunchyroll still makes a lot of money. Well, not quite, because the poor people are in countries like my country, or places where ads are very cheap. And that means even if you stay all day to watch ads, they still don't make a lot of money. And in my country, for example, we didn't even have ads. At first I just got a transition where the ads should be, that didn't last more than a second. Then they started adding a blank space. Well, more exactly a few seconds of black screen. They just showed you 5 seconds of a black screen, then you saw the anime again. Then they added for 40 seconds, 1 minute or something like that, their commercials for other animes. Sometimes even the anime that I was watching. So of course they didn't make any money from my country, because there was no ads. And I'm sorry, but I didn't want to pay for Crunchyroll because I didn't get all the anime that other people from other countries got. I'm not exaggerating when I'm saying that I got 4 or 5 times less anime, even if I pay the same price as an American that has almost all the shows. So that wasn't a good reason for me to pay for it. The other reason was that I had a lot of issues with their program. Their player usually gave me an error, sometimes their servers didn't work, so that also made me not want to invest in their subscription. Then I find out that they have censorship and they promote it. So why would I want to pay somebody to censorship my anime? And last but not least, they use the money that they have to make their own cartoons. Why would I want to pay money for anime when I know that my money doesn't go to the creator? So I'm not supporting anime. I'm supporting an American corporation, censorship, and American cartoons that nobody wants to watch. And their cartoons were so bad that you cannot even find it on the internet for free, because it was very bad and nobody wanted to watch it. So Crunchyroll just gave me a lot of reasons why I shouldn't buy their subscription. But I always made the mistakes from time to time to go back to them and to watch their shows with ads. Whatever, I didn't really have ads. But I wanted to pay for the subscription. The problem is when I decided that I want to pay for the subscription, they started showing me that, oh, Crunchyroll just supported a censored anime. I mean, they wanted that anime to be censored. Or something that I already said. So why do I need to support a company like that? Because, yeah, I'm not supporting a company like that. The company needs to convince me that they have a good service for me to pay them. I don't have to convince the company. I don't have to beg the company to give me good content. If I have to do that, I will not do it. And then I see them saying stuff like, why don't more people want to buy a subscription? But they never say it's because of their censorship, because they invest in their own cartoons. They always say that there's not a lot of people that is interested in the anime. Or even worse, they say that it's because there's not a lot of diversity. Anyway, we already know that they don't try to improve their services. They are not trying to give us a better price, a better media player, a better website or application. They just use their money to buy exclusivity, and that's all. To make sure that if you want an anime, you must go to them and buy a subscription. And you know what? I'm fed up with this stuff. Because people like me are the ones that are always blamed. It's never the corporation. It's never because of their censorship, because of their bad practices, because of their anti-consumer laws. No, it's only the fan's fault because he wants something better. This reminds me of Nintendo and why I hate Nintendo. More exactly, they give a lot of money for movie stars to promote their stuff. Meanwhile, they're trying to ban normal content creators that also promotes their stuff, but not in the way that they like it. Especially if they criticize the game a little. But God forgive if they give us a discount for their games, for their exclusive games, of course. Nah, we need that money to pay for Brie Larson to appear in a commercial. Fuck you, Nintendo. So back to Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll does the exact same thing. Well, it may not be Brie Larson, but they still waste a lot of money on useless stuff that nobody wants, instead of trying to give us a good service, a better service. Oh yeah, I forgot, what about the translations? Their voice actors act like they're movie stars or famous people. The ones that make the subtitles do whatever they want, they don't care about your opinion. Sometimes making subtitles that has nothing to do with the anime. Trying to erase everything that they think it's offensive or problematic. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I will never pay a subscription to Crunchyroll if this continues. Crunchyroll should and must obey the fans. It's not the other way around. Corporations exist because people support them when they get the right product. If the fans don't get the product that they want, then that corporation must go bankrupt. It's that simple. Because we pay for you to do what we want, not what you want. And if you think I'm not right, then why did Crunchyroll do so bad? I mean, they really sucked at making a profit. Also, look at YouTube. YouTube doesn't make a lot of money because nobody wants their useless subscription and because they promote the stuff that they want. And I'm not the only one that complains about this. And when you usually find somebody new that you like, it's because you usually find it in other places. Or it was an error with the algorithm. But it doesn't matter, they still think they are doing a great job, even when they are losing money. Another example is the comic book industry. Clearly nobody wants to buy their propaganda. For example, the new Superman, Superman's son, is gay. And his greatest weakness is fake news. Who the fuck wants to see that? And compare that with anime, where you see a lot of gay people, a lot of transsexuals, manga and anime that's made especially for a relationship between a man and another man. They even have a special category for that, yaoi. Because guess what? They don't change the normal stuff to be gay or lesbian or transsexual or whatever. They implement it like it's something normal. They don't preach about it. They make it part of the story. They don't make it the story. Or they have a special category especially for those kinds of anime or manga. But yeah, Americans instead they are doing everything a different way. A way that nobody likes. Not even the gay people or lesbians. Because they don't try to make a story, they don't try to make things entertaining. But nobody buys their comic books, nobody wants to see their movies, their animations. And even so, they don't change anything. They don't think they are in the wrong. The fans are the problem, not them. The fans should love whatever idea they have. But the issue usually comes when they don't have a good idea. And they always take other people's work. They didn't make Spider-Man, Batman, Star Wars. But they take that story and they try to make it theirs. And this is why I don't give a fuck about Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, even if it's good, because it's not made by the original writer. How the fuck is Star Wars still Star Wars if it's not made by the original creator? If tomorrow I make a random story and I call it Star Wars, is it still Star Wars? Because I think that's how it works. Because that's how Hollywood does it now. They make a random story that has nothing to do with the story and they call it, oh, this is Spider-Man, this is Batman. Just because they copy paste the design, maybe, sometimes they change it, and sometimes just the title. I mean, I'm not saying that there's no writer that can do a good job. There are writers that can take a story, and it doesn't matter if it's Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, Berserk, One Punch Man, My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer. He can still make a good story. But most of the American writers don't try to continue that story or improve it in any way. Most of the time they just want to make everybody gay or black or a woman or LGTV, and that's all. They don't care about the story. Also, they try to cut everything that may be problematic or offensive, and it doesn't matter if they are the only ones that feel offended. If one of them feel offended, then it must be cut. So yeah, Crunchyroll doesn't want poor people to have anime. Because poor people must see poor ads. Sometimes they don't even have ads. And their ads are for poor people. I mean, they are very cheap. So of course, they will prefer if you pay for the subscription. And that was a good reason for me to pay for HBO. Because a very long time ago, HBO didn't support censorship. And also, it was the only service in my country that didn't have ads. And I didn't saw a problem for me to pay for HBO, to not get ads, and to have everything uncensored. Because at first I understand. A lot of marketing people don't want to put their ads in offensive stuff or in sexual stuff. So I thought that if I pay for a subscription, then they don't have to rely on ads. They can do whatever they want as long as people pay for the subscription. But apparently, even if they have the freedom, even if you buy a subscription to Crunchyroll, they still want to censorship your stuff. And it's not because the government forces them to do so. So my point is that Crunchyroll doesn't deserve my support. And clearly now that Sony has Crunchyroll, they don't even care for the poor people. I mean, they want more money. They don't have time for ads, because like I said, it's in the poor countries and they don't usually have ads, and when they do, it's a very small budget that comes from those ads. If you really love anime, there's other ways to get it. Try to get it from other places, try to buy manga, try to get it directly from Japan, and maybe you can use a translator or somebody that makes subtitles for that anime. There are other ways, if Crunchyroll really doesn't care about the fans and they don't want to make the fans happy. And I think in the future, Japan will try to sell their anime directly to the fans. Because why the fuck do they still need Crunchyroll? I think most of them should be able to sell it directly to the consumer. Especially now because nobody wants to buy comic books. Everybody wants anime and manga. Because that's the place where we still have good entertainment. So support the creators, not the corporations.